one.
Okay, hello and welcome everybody. We are getting into the group stages of Starladder Americas. We've got Cloud9 versus Archon. Actually the first time these two teams with these rosters have ever played, so this will be exciting to see who comes out on top. I'm Llama Down Under. I'm joined by PQMZ on stats, and I've also got Vengeance on... Sorry, PQMZ is my co-caster. We got Vengeance on stats. A little bit of a brain.
Are you sleepy again?
No, I was just chopping onions, you know. No, I actually was chopping onions. Chicken tikka masala tonight. Anyway, not important. Let's talk about the game. You'll be able to see who's on everything when we get into the actual cast. And I just wanted to say, apparently, I asked the players as we were waiting, because there were a few players being late. Apparently, SVG would like you all to know that 1437 loves donuts.
Who doesn't like donuts?
I mean, maybe SVG doesn't. That's why he thought it was important to bring up. So, could be the case.
That's a major lack of team chemistry there.
100%. Now, let's get into this. Funny story, actually. We pulled up some info before the draft, and C9 have never had SF and Doom. So, SF and Doom are always banned against Archon, sorry. Archon has never had an opportunity to play those heroes, albeit they've only played 13 games together as a team.
They
but...
played Doom yesterday.
No, Archon did?
Yeah, Moo played Doom yesterday.
Oh yeah, it must. So that was their first time getting it through. Other than that, it has been banned every single time, and yeah, as you can see, it's banned again. So also, it has a high ban rate in general, so it's hard to tell if that's particularly against that team. So we're getting ourselves some picks though. And yeah, we got Slaughter picked up for Archon. Moose Slaughter has, I don't think it's quite, let me just double check. I know it was very high up on there, on the win rate. But other than that, we got Wyvern and Tusk. And do you think it's an offlane or a support Tusk? Yeah. Moose Slaughter has a 100% win rate. But as I say that, that's a Broodmother. So safe lane Slaughter or mid, it could be Monkeys Forever mid Brood.
Cloud9's turn to ban.
As you said the other day, they have been practicing that, so one of the few teams I know who can run it in both roles.
Yeah, 100%, and I'm interested to see where everything's gonna go, and just so folks know, I know not all of you were probably watching in chat, but this is MJW on the fellow with lots of Chinese characters. My Chinese is very bad, so I only recognize one of those characters. You can all know exactly which one. And he has a little cute baby monkey picture. So, but yeah, that's gonna be MGW standing in for MSS, who is not here today. So, but yeah, Broodmother. I feel like Wyvern and Tusk, they have some wave clear, but it is still really rough to lane against the Broodmother for them. The Splinter Blast, you have to, like, it's not going to be easy to get that off on the spiders with the invis, and also the ice shards. I mean, it needs levels to have the damage.
Yeah, and that's something that's not easy to get against a Brood.
Yeah.
So if she does go off lane and they're the two supports, they need a pretty carry. So they have kill potential if they like dust and snowball in.
Yeah. So the Alk ban out, I'm assuming for Archon, while this is a hero that they've played quite a bit on Cloud9, I think it's really just that whole, you don't want to play a Broodmother into an Alchemist acid spray, he can just eat your broodlings, get a lot of gold.
Yeah, it's just an annoying hero to play against in general.
Yeah.
I also like the Sven ban out because we saw what it can do the other few times.
Yeah. I do feel like the Alk has been falling off in popularity in general though. It feels like he was picked all the time earlier this month when we were seeing the major qualifiers, and since then both the Alchemist and the Night Stalker have fallen off a little bit.
I think teams just learn how to play against it very quickly because it's been out of the meta for a really long time and it's been used in a semi-different way to what it was played before, so you want to adapt.
Yeah.
Night Stalker I'm kind of surprised about though, because that hero is just kind of weak at one point in the game, but it's strong throughout the rest.
Yeah, it's been really strange as well because he does still hold a very good win rate, if I remember correctly. He's not, you know, sometimes heroes get picked a bunch and then people figure them out later in the patch, and so their win rate drops off, but he's still doing well. He's just maybe other heroes being prioritized, and That's certainly something we're going to see here with the Dazzle Undying ban out. Something else Cloud9 likes to do, I believe, is they pick a lot of AA. So
5
perhaps,
seconds remaining.
yeah, I guess maybe this is a core tusk, or they think that having the AA against the Broodmother will just be too weak of a lane. Because I think normally their response to Dazzle Undying is they pick an AA instead of banning them out.
Radiant team pick.
I can see the Dazzle ban for sure. The Undying's a bit more niche.
Cloud9.
Don't think it's easy for Archon to run it, but maybe they have some inside information.
The Slaughter Undying lane is a real pain for whoever your safe lane carry is.
Yeah, that would make sense. But then that would mean the Brood's mid, so... I've just never personally seen it from Archon. I know you said they did it the last time, but...
Yeah, they have. I've seen them play it before, and instead a Lich coming out. So they've got some minus armor, they've got some armor for themselves. Also, this Beastmaster on Cloud9, even though they've only picked it twice, they do have a 100% win rate with it. So we'll see if that if that stays 100% or drops down in this game.
I really doubt they worry about, like,
Oh, no,
win
no, no.
rates as players.
No, they don't
They
worry
just
about
take
it.
care
It's
of
just
things
fun
they want to.
facts. Sorry, it's just fun facts in like stuff about teams, because both of these teams with these new rosters, they don't have a lot of games. Cloud9 does have a bit more, but really Archon has so few current professional games, and I have to imagine that these teams scrim all the time. So I always wonder about those dynamics, right? You scrim this team really frequently. Do you run what's worked against them in scrims, or have you been attempting to hide something that they didn't know about to show off now in a deciding game? Because this game for Cloud9, they're 1-1 in their group stage. Archon can drop a game here. They've already won a game. They have some leeway. If Cloud9 drops another game, I don't believe they can make top 2 of their group and proceed into the Starladder playoffs. And they go with the Ember Spirit. Very comfortable hero for Ritsu.
Actually kind of surprised it got through so far. Last time we saw them, it was prioritized really highly by I think it was Leviathan.
Yeah.
They took it every time they got the chance to take it away, but I suppose they also wanted to run it themselves.
I think also a lot of teams either ban it, they use a ban on it usually, but I think because of the Broodmother pick, Archon was trying to make sure that they really had covered that for either Moo or Monkeys Forever, whoever ends up on it, to make sure that they didn't have a really crap lane.
That makes sense. I don't particularly like this game for Ember because he has a really hard time fighting into any of those heroes. He has good kill potential on Brood, and if he can end up splitting the map up, there's not too much catch yet. But I suspect the next support that Archon draft will offer some lockdown to follow up Starladder, so they can actually catch the Ember.
Yep. And an Earthshaker ban out coming out from Cloud9. I guess they just don't want to...
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, I guess with the help of the Earthshaker, you can lock down the Ember Spirit or the Beastmaster wherever they are and get good kills. Kind of surprised, though.
Good roaming hero, because say the Brood's mid against the Beastmaster, he can just rock up, throw a Fisher, you can kill the Beastmaster. Same thing with, depending what their offlaner is, the Razor can pretty much solo, so he can just move around, go between lanes, stack up the woods, be active around the map. Kind of what Fluff did the other day on Tusk.
Yeah, I would
So,
just be really
I
I would just be really concerned for the Earthshaker, because it feels like he's got... I mean, with Beastmaster Vision, Ember Spirit has nice escapes. It's going to be hard to lock people down. Although maybe they're also worried about that instant cast point on Echo Slam, right? Sometimes it can be hard to Remnant away unless you're quick with your fingers. And the Gyrocopter ban out, which I'm also confused by, because I assumed this was... I guess Archon is worried it is an offlane Beastmaster mid Ember Spirit, and they were going to follow it up with the Gyrocopter.
Yeah, I
just
can
didn't
see what they're thinking.
Yeah, I think that would have been kind of greedy lanes. Either way, Cloud9 has to pick really quickly or they're going to be in a spot of trouble, and we will be finding out if that's a mid Beastmaster. And it is not. Offlane Clock. Sorry, it is a mid Beastmaster. Offlane Clock, how rough is this going to be with Broodmother's babies running around? I mean, you can... It depends on how good the Brood is, but that can really ruin your hook potential.
Yeah, definitely. Scouting in general as well, though, is generally enough. You don't necessarily have to block the hooks. I feel like Cloud9 have a really hard to execute draft here. They fall behind in the
10
laning
seconds
stage
remaining.
really hard. They can't easily
5
win
seconds
team
remaining.
fights, I'd say. They have a lot of good spells, but the scaling isn't the best.
Reserve time.
You're playing up against 3 cores as one, pretty much. Normally
Yeah.
quite hard.
It
You have to snowball.
It's also something where if it's a mid-brood mother, I think she just gets... It's a shorter, safer lane, there's a lot of freedom, and a Visage. I'm really excited. Or Visage, as I'm apparently meant to say, I guess. The in-game announcer is now actually making noise for me, so that's always great. But either way, I'm excited to see what happens here. They have a lot of little creeps and so on. You got brood motherlings, you got Visage familiars. There's gonna be a lot of business running around, and yeah, strong lanes coming out from Archon, though. I actually wonder if this Razor is solo somewhere for JO, and they might help out Slaughter, because, I mean, wherever they put both the Lich and the Visage, like, that lane is scary for whoever on Cloud9 is up against it.
I'd presume it's just gonna be Starladder, Lich top, Razor, Visage bottom. Fairly simple lanes.
10
Could opt to
seconds
move the
remaining.
Visage top to test the Ember's farm as well, because Razor does fine against Clock.
Yep.
I'd expect the Visage to go bottom and try to pull.
Yeah,
They can
and
get his levels.
so we've got to pause, as we always do. Since we're paused, we can say the other thing. In the lobby, Brax was claiming that his real name was Christopher, and that he prefers his imaginary name Brax, but I actually thought his first name was Braxton, because that's what most places show it as. So, I don't know who to believe. Either way, let's get to introducing the players on Cloud9. We've got Brax on that Beastmaster, SVG on the Wyvern, MJW on the Clockwork, Ritsu on Ember Spirit, and 1437 on Tusk.
For Archon, we've got Jo on Razor, Whitebeard on Lich, Fluff and Stuff on Visage, Monkeys Forever on the Brood, and Moo on his Sladder.
Yeah,
I've actually seen him like stream spam the shit out of this hero, and he plays it really well. So
Yeah, he plays it well on his stream, he plays it well in competitive games. The guy's good at the hero, just a little bit, so.
I think he was one of the first players to like really push for it. When it was just coming into the meta, like I saw his stream a few times, he was always playing this. He had a lot of faith in it, you could tell.
Oh, that's so cute. Fluff's effigy is Liquid are doing it. So yeah, now that we're paused early on in the game, because I feel like it's hard to talk about stuff, although you've already mentioned, do you think Cloud9's lineup is harder to execute? Are you saying you really do prefer Archons overall?
I think Archon's draft is just easier, because their lanes are gonna do fine. Cloud9 have to really outplay them for the lanes to go in their favor. They're gonna lose, dare I say, all 3 lanes. They're probably gonna lose 2 for sure, but the other one, it might be 50-50, it might be a loss. So then they're gonna have to get the levels on Clock and Beastmaster, and they're gonna have to make a lot of space and a lot of good rotations. Even then, if Archon give up a few kills, like on important heroes, it's not really gonna matter, because they can still fight. I mean, I could be proven wrong, but I feel like this is a really hard game to play Ember. Unless you get off to a really quick start.
Yeah, especially if this Broodmother, if she gets a lot of farm, she can get up an early Orchid, just be a real pain. The Ember keeps having to try and be safe. He might have to go a couple defensive items, not go that glass cannon build we like to see so much on the Ember, so. Either way, we're getting into it. Let's see if we've got any interesting item pickups. No smokes purchased yet. A lot of stout shields. Everybody's rocking some stout shield. Yeah, Cloud9's lineup is a lot of melee, and good thing they banned out that Darkseer then.
Looks like they're also opting to run the Brood off lane and have the Razor mid. That's probably more to punish the Beastmaster, because Razor does absolutely fine in that matchup. Starladder should do fine bottom.
Now let's see if Monkeys Forever. I've seen him play it quite a bit mid. I'm assuming he knows how to play it off lane as well. But it'll be interesting to see if the lane changes will do anything there. Oh, good. I'm glad they all love each other. So, unfortunately, we don't have any.
NA Dota.
Yeah, we don't have any good cosmetics so that folks know about the dresses. No Lena here, so no beautiful Lena dress, which is apparently bugged or something. I could be crazy.
I like the Starladder set Moo's rocking. It's the best looking
Wait,
one
there-
of the lot.
Isn't there like were there actually more than one slaughter set? I thought there was just
There's
the...
like 2 or 3, I think.
Oh my
Unless it's
god.
like new ones
That's
come out. I don't keep up with recent cosmetics.
that's the best looking of the bunch. That's...
I think I like it at least.
Well, we're all allowed our own opinions. Anyway, moving right along.
Wow.
We've got Brax walking his way over middle. This lane, you mentioned it. So when you build a mid beast monster, you generally skill him a bit differently. You get more points in boar over maxing axes, which is the offlane build where you go for a soul ring as well. Do you think he'll still try to max the boar here, or do you have to adapt to a razor? Because I feel like if you're against the brood, you can probably feel pretty comfortable maxing axes, actually. Because you're just trying to kill her babies?
I think most players go for like the 2-4-1-1 build at level 8.
You are too slow.
Most common build I've seen, but higher levels in axes aren't a bad thing. They're actually going on Visage bottom. He's in a bit of trouble with his Arctic Burn, but he should be able to run it off.
Yeah, the Arctic Bone does so much work. I was expecting to see it poke its head mid a little bit, you know? The whole...
Oh my
hey.
god, they don't see this ward. It's right outside the sentry area. That's so bad luck.
Oh yeah, and this area is such a pain to deward, right? Like it is. That camp is a pain to get perfect coverage.
He misses it again.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this camp is stupid, honestly. Having played support, you love being dire because you can always deward your poor camp. But being Radiant, it's so cancerous. They need to change this.
You can
This is
see.
one thing I think is inherently broken in Dota.
You can see as well. They ate a bunch of trees, expecting it was maybe one of those spots deep in there, right? And yeah, they're still eating trees looking for this, and they've just missed it. So unfortunate for them. Gonna give a little bit of a leg up to the C9 side of this aggressive tri-lane.
Radiant's middle tower is under
But
attack.
in the meantime, Monkeys forever having a fine old time against the clockwork, and as this lane progresses, the Broodmother can just run the clock down, right?
Takes a while, but once he gets level 5, the clock's gonna have a hard time. He'll probably transition into sapping XP. But for now, he's doing fine. He actually has the level advantage somehow. Maybe he got a bounty rune. Not exactly sure. Yeah, the Brood's having a hard time to start. This will change pretty quickly though.
I think also babies. She has let him have a few babies, and never good for your experience.
Yeah, but it's not like a full levels difference.
Yeah.
I don't think.
So, in mid, we do, in fact, actually, Razor's only 9-1. I imagine this will change as the lane progresses.
Can't really zone the Beastmaster out like straight away. And he Bottle Crow, he has a regen rune as well, which is ideal, so he can trade hits.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to zone him away, but he's getting equal farm, which is good.
Yeah, he certainly wants extra farm if he can get it. You're probably pretty happy with some experience, but you'd love some more lost hits getting to work on that Necro book, Lickety Split, which is what I imagine he'll go for this game, first item.
Yeah, I don't think you want to go Blink first when you have a book and a Tusk to initiate for you. Definitely want the more damage output.
Now, it feels like this bottom lane for Archon has huge kill potential. Like, Moo has Sprint, he should be able to land a Slithering Crush. There's so much follow-up if he's having trouble landing it, that it's like, they could just actually use that Grave Chill and Ice Blast. I'm really surprised nothing has happened in the bottom lane yet.
Not the easy swing for them to get the kills when Cloud9 are playing quite far back. What they need to do, and Ritu's farm isn't suffering too much here.
Oh, but as we say that, yeah, Slithering Crush, he does get off the Searing Chains, but will it be enough? The Soul Assumption barely tickling Ritsu. They need a few more auto attacks. He's sprinting it up, and oh, not gonna be saved from that secondary Soul Assumption there. well played. Cold Embrace.
Not having any points in Grave Chill as well, actually. Which
Yeah.
I find kind of weird.
Maybe they're hoping the Frost Blast from Lich is enough slow, along with Sprint. I mean, you do have a lot of mobility advantages over Cloud9's lineup.
Probably just trade more effectively.
And they've rotated their lane up here. Ritsu's now coming up top. I don't think he's going to fare better against the Broodmother. I mean, maybe if he has some help, but the Tusk Wyvern, the Broodmother is already level 5.
Yeah, this is not easy. But the lane's under his tower right now. Unfortunately, his team is sapping XP. He needs the levels to be able to stay in this lane. But the Lich is rotating here now, so it's going to make it even harder for him.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like, oh, Lich actually gets caught out by the Searing Chains, but here comes Monkeys Forever. But Lich, I think, is just going to go down. Snowball coming in as well. Going to touch Monkeys Forever, and he might be in trouble as well. Ritsu! Oh, he can't auto-attack him, and he's just going to fall. to the battery assault. I feel like a bit of a misplay, the Lich getting caught out in range of the Searing Chains. It's also kind of a big AoE, but I expect most of these players very experienced against Ember Spirit.
That was obvious miscommunication, because Monkeys knew the Tusk was up there, probably also knew the clock was still there. Saw him on this ward earlier, and Whitebeard just opting to run up, sacrifice a creep in Ember's face, not working out so well for him.
Yeah. So we've got Wyvern still poking her head down bottom, trying to get some levels. It does feel like that top lane got a little bit harder for Monkeys Forever on the Broodmother, but I still think plenty of recovery potential. And our game's very close, 5 minutes in, not many kills. We've discussed this before, but Moo, he's in the safe lane. Do you think he's going to try to build more of a safe lane slaughter build, or is it still just Blink Dagger 4-star for him?
Might not be a force, but I could see Fred's Blink to start for sure. He also might be going a Midas because he hasn't opted to pick up Threads yet. Which
Yeah.
I think is fine.
I agree.
He opts for that.
It feels like that hero doesn't have easy farming ways, and Jo, are you maybe in the danger zone? A hookshot and a primal roll. They want this Razor dead, and he is falling quickly. Sapping some damage now, but he's still taking that battery assault, and with auto attacks, they should have more than enough. Visage pokes his head over, but it's not going to work out, and actually, he might be in trouble himself. But the battery assault ends, and with cogs coming up, oh, here comes the Arctic Burn and a snowball. Suddenly, all of Cloud9 are right here, and Visage is dead as well. The rotations from Cloud9 have been on point.
Yeah, this is what they need to do. They're using both the big cooldowns to get a pick off and then managing to pick off the support as well. It's a good start for them. If they can keep this up at this pace every 90 seconds, both the ults are up, rolling, they can get some momentum.
And it might actually work out really well for them because Monkeys Forever going the Midas, you know, the Slaughter may also be picking up some
treads.
Yeah, he went for treads, but if he doesn't get up his blink fast, it's something where taking advantage of these greedy pickups from Monkeys Forever could be the name of the game. And I have to say, I think Cloud9 has the better late game. Actually, I take that back. I think it's evenish. It's always hard to say with an Ember Spirit, given his proclivity for crits, and they will have a lot of baby spiders around, but I'm sure that Monkeys is more than enough experienced enough to keep those away from the searing sleight of chain, sleight of fist.
Yeah. Personally, I'd favor Archon because they have more like relevant damage.
We
to
have
them.
another
Especially going
snowball
middle.
in mid. Jo looking to go down. Primal Roar again. They don't even... Oh, are they actually going to use it? Doesn't matter. Whoever comes in next might be dead as well. Hookshot over onto Fluff and Stuff and kind of touches him with that. There's a Soul Assumption too, but Whitebeard, Fluff and Stuff, these aren't the two heroes you need to be killing people. Bottom lane, though, we've got Moo trying to go onto a Wyvern, and I think he's got him. It's kind of surprising when you think about it, as Moo has all physical damage, but the Cold Embrace just wasn't enough. Moo just standing next to him, waiting out the cooldown.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the ults down, they can't punish the kill on Moo, so good game sense by him, just realizing he can do that without getting punished.
Yeah, getting his team a much-needed kill. Beastmaster picks up a haste, and fully expect Brax, as you said, every time his ult is on cooldown, he's going to Primal Roar someone, make sure his team can get a little bit of farm. Still, though, the net worth and experience graph very close. Archon actually ahead in experience, which I think has a lot to do with Broodmama.
The Lich as well.
Good point there. So, with Moo, I think it looks like very much that he's saving up for the Blink Dagger. Makes a lot of sense on him. He'll be able to get more teamfight business started. Who is your pick-off target? Are you just doing everything on Ember? Speaking of Ember Spirit, what is Ritsu doing? Caught in no man's land, and we see again the effects. One, a really nice play by Lich Whitebeard, but also your Remnant it retains your own move speed. So trying to Remnant out of that that area, really not possible. It's why I think Visage and Lich are so good against the Ember Spirit. They both have ways to nerf his move speed, which also nerfs his escape mechanism.
I actually think he went on Lich as he hit level 6. This is just a guess. Went for a kill and realized, like, oh shit, the Lich is 6, and then got really lucky chain bounces. They actually tried to smoke bottom, but they're only going to pick off the Visage here. Fortunately, they didn't get the Starladder as well.
Oh goodness, we got a big engagement. As you said, they're going to pick off Visage, and we've got a
They're
snowball
actually
coming in.
going
They missed the hook shot, but I think Whitebeard is dead. That is a Lich against the world. Whitebeard trying to put on the armor, but they don't need auto attacks. They have other forms of physical damage, and he's going to go down. So I think also maybe a tower exchange for them.
Yeah, they can definitely get
Radiant
this.
structures
I feel like
under
Archon need to realize when people are dead, and they're just kind of wasting rotations right now. There's no way the Lich does anything there. Fluff was just dead.
Dire's
Moo
top
did the
tower
right
is
thing, not
under attack.
engaging, just going back, making sure he gets his flame. Actually, they're too scared to get the tower with all their ults on cooldown.
So
Get what I said before.
yeah, and we've got Moo just farming up a storm on. Sorry, Monkeys Forever farming up a storm on top lane. So. And yeah, folks, if there's still no sound in Dota TV, I really don't know what to do about it. You can see that I have the sound icon popping up, so on my end, apparently there's sound in Dota TV. I don't know if you have also got your mic open to come through on Dota TV, PQ?
Yeah, it should be fine. It shows the sound bubbler.
Well, okay, I'm not quite sure why we're maybe having Dota TV issues, and sorry folks, but once again it looks like Fluff and Stuff gonna be taking the brunt of their action. Snowball in. Again, someone's TPing. Can they do anything? A nice Ice Shards. Moo is actually really low here and in sprint form, so if they turn around on him, but they have to wait for these cooldowns. Cold Embrace, but yeah, you're just gonna get leashed up, but now, here comes the hook shot onto Moo. Sprint has ended, so he's gonna try to walk it off, and a Lich ulti, they separate though, and it doesn't bounce to the neutrals. Looks like we've got a very dead Clockwork, but at least they get the return kill onto Moo. And MJW goes down there. I think probably pretty favorable by Archon looking from the kills. But again, they did lose Moo and Visage out of position.
These shorties have been doing work. It's actually really hard for Cloud9 to fight into them, because they need like multiple heroes for each kill to happen, and if Lich is just there to scare them off with Chain Frost, you can either look to get some return kills or just stop the gank altogether.
Yeah. So we've got a dive by Ritsu, but will he be punished? He immediately remnants away. Pretty standard play from an Ember Spirit, but something else I wanted to mention is it feels like we've got, other than the Slytherin Crush, we've got a serious lack of lockdown on Archon for this Ember Spirit. So not quite sure how they're planning on catching him, other than Slytherin Crush and Lucky Bash procs. I mean, I feel like Monkeys Forever has to go an Orchid here for some kind of lockdown.
They have the birds as well to follow up the crush, which is fairly easy to do. So they have decent lockdown, but I don't think he's going to be at the point where he's too big of a problem for a long time.
Yeah, and once
they can just push down towers and ignore him most of the fights. He doesn't do the damage right now.
Yeah,
well, right now he does the damage, but
Hookshot
a tiny bit.
On the bottom lane, onto Whitebeard, Arctic Bone as well, just to seal the deal. And another case of, we actually see Visage chillaxing over here, Fluff and Stuff. He knew about a couple of them being there. He knew 3 of them were there because this ward showed it. So I'm not quite sure why Whitebeard came up so far in an attempt to de-ward.
Maybe just thinking they couldn't actually go on him there. Or just bad communication again, which I don't think it would be the case. JO actually TP's down bottom, so they want to defend this tower.
Okay, they didn't see that, but yeah, JO pops Eye of the Storm. They're gonna lose the tower, but can they get the follow-up kills, knowing that Hookshot is on cooldown? It looks like JO, he's trying to walk forwards, but they're coming around from all sides. Moo comes in, they immediately Primal Roar him, and now no physical damage is being taken. Winter's Curse as well, and the the Remnant gonna finish him off, and now Fluff and Stuff is in no man's land. They're actually chasing on JO, but that was a mistake. He's gonna kill them off with Eye of the Storm, and especially if he can get some more damage here. MJW is trying to man-fight him while Visage goes down on the bottom lane, and it's not enough. Now, can they catch anything on JO? I don't think they'll catch up to him. Let's see if Hookshot, it should be close. He might just go for this. No, he's way out of position to go for the Hookshot on JO, so that fight's gonna end. But again, Archon getting caught out, and I was really surprised they saw a number of these heroes here, and they only rotated 3.
Yeah, I think they're just kind of overestimating their abilities right now, but they're still fine with this. Overall, their game plan's going how they want. Monkeys is getting really fat. He's opting for either BKB or a Dessa, which I think are both fine. I'd prefer to see the Dessa though, so he actually does a bit more damage-wise.
Yeah. Certainly something where they are making, albeit sometimes with deaths, they're making a lot of space for Monkeys Forever. He has been pushing this top lane, he's getting a lot of damage on it, and while I think they're in a good place for D-push on Cloud9, they don't exactly, other than the Ember, have heroes who are probably getting bots up this early. The Beastmaster might, actually, depending on how much of a pain Monkeys Forever is.
Getting close to his Necro Free as well, so that's like their peak, I feel like. Fighting into Necro Free is really hard at this point.
Oof, yeah, Brax doing well. So, Yeah, they've been really, really good about using this Primal Roar, but Slaughter, Chillax in middle, he's actually gone away. Gonna go, like, farm a little. I think they're maybe trying to set up a kill on bottom, but I think this Clockwork, very hard to catch.
I think they have enough with birds. He doesn't have a way of escaping
He can,
right now.
yeah, especially right now since the creep wave isn't there yet, so let's see if they can get the jump on him. Trying to pop the amp damage first, I think Moo being a bit greedy, and now he can't kill him. I think you have to go for the Blink Slithering Crush. I know because Slithering Crush is physical, it would have amplified the damage if you can get both off. But I think catching out the Clockwork, of course, bigger than letting him go.
I think the reason he went for that play was because he saw there actually is
Yeah,
a
Monkeys
pinch
Forever
there.
is in a pinch, but can he get out of their vision? He actually leaves a web and gonna be fine. Although
Oh, the rocket!
Brax has...
What a sniper!
And that is probably why Brax, he had a haste, and I was like, why aren't you chasing him? And they were like, yeah, I've got it, so well played.
I actually think he went for that because his sword's like slightly in the tree line, so he thought maybe it gave lane vision. I'm not exactly sure, but he got fogged, and then once you've gone for the play and he's so far back, I think you just try and get the amp up for scouting vision and don't actually commit to the kill at that point.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
We have a smoke coming out from Archon. Let's see if they can do anything about this push. The creep should be, the Necronomicon creep should be down, but the hook shot immediately coming out. And now Jo, he's in a spot of trouble. Where is the backup? They aren't going for a Primal Roar or anything because on the front lines, Moo is on them. And now Brax and 1437 trying to back up, but no one's catching up. Moo needs to land another beautiful Slithering Crush, and he has it in a few seconds, disabling his blink with the ice shards there, but I think, there's going to be a snowball coming out. Yeah, he snowballs, trying to buy them some time, but the rest of Archon are here, and I don't think the two can fight into this. Primal Roar, but Axe is on and off, and now Brax, he's in trouble, taking the Grave Chill, Soul Assumption, and everything else under the sun. And that is a very dead Beastmaster, and now C9 suffering a little bit from what you talked about earlier on Archon, the Save Your Friend syndrome.
Yeah.
Although Jo may have
They're
just been
actually
way
gonna
out
kill
of
it.
position. He took the Searing Chains. There's going to be the Slithering Crush. Remnant away. SVG can always Cold Embrace and not worry about that physical damage, though. Because both Eye of the Storm and everything out of Slaughter physical. So, yeah, that was a really weird engagement.
I think Beastmaster just needed to accept his team was dead, his task was dead there. He did the right play, trying to like buy as much time, sharded the blink, then tried to snowball to delay, and Brax just stood around a bit too long, maybe looking for a turn kill, getting a bit greedy. Nearly got his drums as well, just needs the recipe.
Yeah, we've got a lot of gold up on a few people. Actually, Monkeys Forever and MDW see each other and just say hello, I guess.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Brax is getting closer to that Necronomicon level 3. And we will be seeing the Deso from Monkeys Forever, like you said. He's now hanging bottom lane. Do you think he's just decided top lane's a bit too hard, or do they just really want the gold income from this lost tier, from this tier 1?
It's possible they want to secure Roshan control, because with the Deso, with amp damage, they can take it really easily. So they might look to just push the towers, or they might just go in as 5. They're smoking up now.
Yeah.
Possibly was scouted with this ward. Cloud9 should know something's up, because they saw like multiple heroes moving around.
They threw
If
a
they play too
rocket.
defensive, they can lose Roche.
They threw a rocket at Roshan, but as we just mentioned, they can do this pretty fast on Archon with the amp damage with the Deso. So this is going to be a very fast Roshan. They're scouting it with a rocket. I think Archon might be able to do it fast enough, but here comes the rotation. Clockwork's trying to come in, but Visage, Fluff and stuff zoning him. And now SVG also Arctic Burn on the Familiars, but immediate Stone Form from them. And they're going to be getting out. The Grave Chill is also up on MJW. This Roche is getting really close. There's a Remnant in now. Rizzo is in the pit. He's stunned up.
Remnant.
Amp damage. He's going to take a Lich Blast too. Sleight of Fist dodging something, but all the Lich Blast is still bouncing around, and it's going to hit more people. It goes to Roshan. This has gone disastrously, but here comes the Tusk. Can they kill off 1437? The Eye of the Storm is big enough. Winter's Curse onto a Broodmother Ling, holds them in place. Splinter Blast's going to take out Monkeys Forever, but it doesn't kill off enough people, and I think C9 already lost this team fight. They burn the Aegis, so it's a 3 for 3, but Moo, he might go in for more, and they certainly have the backup damage to kill off SVG. They decide to calm things down. I have to say, for Archon, considering their pit positioning, they're pretty happy about that one.
It was actually not as bad as I thought it would be for Cloud9. They managed to get the Aegis, they killed Monkeys.
But again,
Overall, I
Ember's
think
Spirit
it's
went down.
acceptable.
And he, he's your pretty much your one source of damage. Yes, Brax is going to be hitting like a truck with the inner beast and the passive coming out from the necro creeps, but I don't think he's going to be able to do as much damage as your Ember Spirit, and so him dying there, I think, a big problem.
That's what I was saying about in the draft as well. Like, when you're not ahead, this hero can't fight at all. So they're just playing pick off Dodo right now, and it's hard to pick Archon off when they have the familiars, and they actually have like map control still.
Yeah, they have
They're
really
just
good
playing
vision.
pretty close.
So, even
It's really
against
hard
the
to
Hawk.
pick them off.
Brax is getting very close to his Blink Dagger, so maybe they can get some more pickoffs, buy themselves some time, and they do immediately smoke. I don't believe this has been scouted in the slightest.
I think they knew there was like several heroes mid, but they're behind a tower here. If they look to dive this is really ballsy.
Although, Monkeys Forever isn't with them, and Ritsu, he wants to go in. He gets the Sleight of Fist Searing Chains off onto Moo. They're snowballing in on him. Are they just going to lock him down? No. They have a Primal Brawl onto Fluff and stuff. Oh, no. There it comes out onto Jo. And, yeah, they don't end up using it. The Lich ulti is out bouncing around, but is it doing enough? It looks like Fluff and stuff's going to go down too. Too many auto attacks. So many minions tanking this Lich ulti. And goodbye, Fluff and stuff.
Monkey's TP was on cooldown actually, so that worked out really well.
Ooh.
I didn't know he couldn't get to the fight. If Cloud9 knew that, then they're just taking advantage of the Brood's movement. Which is a really smart play from them, and they might even be able to claim the tier 2 off this. The Necropix still up for a few seconds.
MJW also had a really good cogs. That's what I mistook for the initial Primal Brawl, because I saw people getting pushed a bunch, and yeah, that was really well played there by him. He split up that team fight, just made it so Archon had a hard time responding, and also Monkeys being gone. And oh, look at these familiars trying to get the deny. Gonna just miss out. They actually got repositioned by the Ice Shard. Did I just see that right?
I wasn't watching. I don't know if you can do that, but
I feel like they're
quite
flying
possible you
units,
can.
and they should just ignore it, but Tusk also getting close to his Blink Dagger, so 1-4-3-7, having a pretty good game already. He's 4-4-8, perfectly respectable on a support Tusk. He's now going to be saving more and more lives, and not having to have Brax try to save his life and maybe go down with him.
It's also really nice for being able to catch people out, because now they have 3 ways of initiating. Technically 4 with SCGs or stuff as well. Farming pretty well this game. He's above Starladder and net worth.
Yeah, and this seems really problematic for Archon, right? They seem to be having a good run. They were definitely doing well on the net worth for a while there, and on the experience, and a couple bad team fights taking it all away.
I feel like they're just shooting fairly badly, to be honest. Fluffs ended up getting a 4-staff, so they have a way of disengaging. Now, if they can play around with this, then maybe they can counterplay. They have decent counter initiation with the familiar birds of 4-staff. Moo can blink in, get a crush on 2 or 3 heroes. Razor gets a link. That hero's pretty useless unless it's the Ember, and he ends up remnanting away. So
Yeah.
they just need to execute slightly better, and I think they're still in the lead. And Monkeys needs to be there. He can't be the AFK Brood, which he isn't wanting to be. He's getting a BKB. They're actually just giving up this tier 2 as well.
Yeah, I mean, they have so many creeps. They've got all of these wonderful passives making everything hit like a truck. I don't think Archon can fight into that right now, especially since this Necro creeps, the Necro creeps and the Beast Monster's other familiars making it really nice against things like the Lich, against the Eye of the Storm.
I think Eye of the Storm always hits the lowest target, so if you get someone low, it will reprioritize. But yeah, the Lich ulti getting tanked by the creeps is big.
Yeah, and it's certainly something where I think, even if, just because maybe the boar got hit once or twice and it tanks one of the hits of Eye of the Storm, it can be a real pain, so.
Less of an issue, though, than the Lich ult.
Lich ult, 100%. So, Wyvern got his full stuff up, very close to a Blink Dagger as well, and as you mentioned, this initiation, I just feel like Archon, yeah, you mentioned they've got the Stone Form on the familiars, they've got the Slitherine Crush, it doesn't feel like enough lockdown. Enough.
Now they have BKB on Monkeys, I think they're going to try and force a fight.
Yeah, but
however, C9 are split pushing like hell, so they have to get this lane really far out
and
before they look to do anything.
Even with the BKB on Monkeys, he is rocking 1.4k health. It is not a lot. Like, I think he still has to play very safely, and they have more than enough auto attack speed from this Beastmaster at this point. Oh, but they're gonna look. Oh, he blinks away from the Slithering Crush. They get. Oh, he uses the Primal Roar as well to lock down Moo, and Moo may just die to the creeps. Actually, 4-star forwards now manages to get some auto boots put into him, and there's a rocket as well. Let's see where they go. The 4-star away from MJW, and oh, on top, they actually end up killing someone. But now, Monkeys Forever pops his BKB. He is in a spot of trouble. He needs to use that ult, and he is poking away at Ritsu, who's gonna again. We see the Remnant. He's slowed down, and he's actually in the cogs with the Clockwork, who TP'd up here. But Monkeys Forever, his ult has ended, and whether he should go in on this, very questionable, and now he is locked with the Searing Chains. There's no follow-up. Where are their sentries or anything?
They know they can't, he can't kill anyone now though, so I guess they're just hanging around, making sure the Ember's safe. Fortunately, that's his 10-second BKB, and it didn't get anything accomplished.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he didn't die, so that's one
He didn't
thing.
die, he got a kill, but of course the BKB came out after he got the kill, so... yeah, the question of whether that was worth it or not, I think will be decided by other, how long the rest of this game goes, whether he needs that 10-second BKB charge. So, and it is a rough game because there's a lot of things that go through BKB here as well, of course, being that hook shot and that Winter's Curse. You can still cast it on Monkeys Forever, and now they know where he is. The dust just misses. Kills off all of his
Lots of
babies,
fun,
though. Yeah.
At least they get dust money repaid. It's always annoying when you whiff it completely and then you're too poor. But luckily that's not a big problem for their supports this game. They're farming pretty well because they're winning most of the engagements. Taking a lot of towers.
Yeah. So we can see lots of gold on the lineup of Cloud9. Experience again beginning to go in favor of Archon, and they want this mid tower. I feel like, considering they have a Broodmother, they have someone like a Razor who is now working on his BKB as well. Oh, the wraparound. They're in here. There's gonna be the blink away. These creeps, they see you, Monkeys. But he pops the BKB, and he's so slow outside of those webs. I don't know if there's gonna be any follow-up. Yeah, that was a wasted BKB charge.
They need Mood to be there. He can't be the one initiating because they have so many blinks. They're gonna see him coming. They even have the 4 staffs. It's hard for the Brood to actually get on someone and lock them down, or slowing them down so his team can catch up.
Yeah,
I
not
wouldn't be surprised
exactly.
if he goes Basher.
I know. I feel like probably an AC with that Hyperstone.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense as well. More of the 5-man route.
And they're
I was
going.
saying Basher mostly because of what just happened and that they're lacking lockdown at the moment.
They really are, and while they're working on this tier 1, we've got Brax working on their tier 3. So they have to be, as you said, there's so much split pushing going on. Brax has the bots up, and he's gonna back out for now, but he can just blink away, escaping so easily every time. Clockwork also pushing them away with the cogs, so they're getting no one. Can they catch anybody with the familiars? It doesn't look like it.
Cloud9 are just at the point now where this is where their draft excels, and Archon let them get to this point, fortunately.
Yeah. Archon
They don't have
floundering
the
a
tools
bit
to
now.
deal with it.
So now,
Also, gem on the Wyvern.
what do you do here if you're Archon? It feels like you, unfortunately, as you said, you've lost a bit of your timing window. You now probably have to play till later in the game against an Ember Spirit. Are you still hopeful that your team can hold out?
Well, Razor's farming decently, Brood's still farming on top of the net worth, so I don't think they're in like masses amount of trouble. They can still play the late game, but right now they just need to keep the lanes pushed out so they can find opportunities. Brood pushes out one lane, they have 3 heroes in say mid, and then the Familiar's pushing out another lane. They can definitely push the lanes out and look for some kills, but right now it's C9 that are controlling the map by pushing the lanes in, securing themselves a Roshan, and that's what Archon can't have happen right now.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they can deal with it, but it's far from ideal for them.
100%. Now, do you think Razor here, he's got the BKB, do you go for an Aghanims next? I mean, you already have a mech up on the Lich, obviously, also now. It would be super late for the mech, but it's clear that this Razor has no interest in that type of build. Is it Aghanims time?
Hex, Butterfly. I could see a Hex, but I highly doubt it.
I would actually
Yeah.
really like to see a Hex. we have been stressing this on and on, but they really lack lockdown. And I think the fact that your opponents can just walk away from you, obviously always a huge problem in Dota if you have a lot of damage, but you have no way of making folks stick around to take it from you.
Unfortunately, though, he's like such an immobile hero. I mean, he has quite a lot of move speed, but he doesn't have any way of getting in unnoticed or surprising them. They're always going to see him coming. So maybe he needs like another item before he can consider the Hex. So when they're actually in a situation where they can fight, he has that lockdown as opposed to using it as an initiation tool.
Yeah.
Maybe Axe is just safer. Also lets him split push a bit.
Yeah, it does feel like if one of these supports got rich, maybe an Atos would be coming out of them, but it is rough. They are poor, the supports on Archon, and yeah, Jo trying to be a pain to Ritsu, and he's just taking none of it, remnanting away. Clockwork actually has a haste. Can he do anything with this?
They're just gonna wait for Ritsu's closing in on crit. Does he already have the recipe? Or maybe they just look to use this Aegis to farm. They don't really have too much to take. I think High Ground's a bit optimistic without a pick-off. So maybe it's just for tier 2 top, or maybe they just try to farm. They're actually looking to go bottom now, though.
They're looking for the gank. They've got the bots in as well, and there's the initiation. Ritsu, he is in deep, though. He's gonna slide a fist, and now Mu taking that full Winter's Curse. It is too much, and Ritsu, he is fine. He has a second life. He may go down, but he is just fine with that fluff and stuff. Now gonna be taking the brunt of their action, and he actually fires off the Soul Assumption, killing Tusk. Really smart not to use that on the Blade Mail target. And now with the BKB, can they turn it around to get any more sorts of kills? It's not looking like it, and this is what we're talking about. They're just all walking away from them. They actually popped the smoke in an attempt to get away faster, but Jo realizes he can't catch anyone. He can't hold them in place.
I think that was just a misclick from Brax wanting to blink away instead. And really smart move, trying to TP top to force them around the map, so they don't end up getting the tier 1 for free.
Yeah, and apparently the ice shards does impact familiars. It moves them even though they're flying, but of course they can just fly over it. So that's a really weird interaction. I don't know if that'll ever save you in life. Maybe you can move the familiars so they stop attacking you or something, but really didn't expect the flying units to be impacted. Okay, this Beastmaster though, is it AC time for him? Like what? You've got 4k gold, basically.
I could see Refresher as well. Maybe a Hex. But I'd rather see Refresher than Hex.
I actually have to agree with you there. I feel like with Refresher, they just win this game. They're already doing so well in the team fights because they're able to isolate individual heroes. And actually, Monkey's Forever in a spot of trouble. He's turning it around, though, with his BKB and that ult. And Satiable Hunger doing work, but not enough to get a kill on anyone. And now Beastmaster, he does his invis. They didn't manage to get the amp damage off on him. Oh, goodness.
This is hard to
How did they not have a sentry or anything? I mean, I understand that they didn't have a sentry on them, but I think you immediately kind of... Oh, never mind. He killed the courier, so of course they can't immediately fly one out. That's life.
Yeah. They're just getting out-executed right now, and it's really hard when you're
Oh, he pops the creeps, he primal rolls. Mu is now going to take a snowball to the face. Here come the baby creeps, and Ritsu is here as well. And Jo, BKB TP'd into this. Maybe he can kill off the raid boss that is Brax. He needs one more attack. He manages to kill him, but now there are so many other heroes for him to deal with. Actually, Ritsu may just walk it off, but no, here comes the Searing Chains, and with all of these baby creeps. Oh gosh, Monkey's Forever actually eats it, and now he's getting stunned up by the hook shot. Soul Assumption comes out, Ritsu Remnants awake, and Monkey's Forever follow up at all. Sentry on the ground, he eats that with his face, and there is the Winter's Curse coming out. SVG playing off to the side here. Walrus Punch as well. Lich ulti, not enough this time. And will it bounce back to them though? No! Oh, the Lich ulti of dreams that had been happening earlier, not enough now. Fluff and stuff, he doesn't have any points to get off a good Soul Assumption. There he goes. Gets a little bit, and oh. They do manage to kill off MJW on that Clockwork, but... Oh, getting this ward as well.
At Cloud9 just ratting as well.
Constantly.
Doing a lot of damage on the tier 3 bottom.
Yeah. It is being rough for the lineup of Archon, so... At this point, do you think if, you know, is Archon's only hope that Cloud9 make a bunch of mistakes?
I think you have... Like, what they did bottom, where they baited here for the Aegis, they need a better understanding of what Cloud9 are going to do, because they had the right idea with the bait, but they used 3 heroes when they knew 5 heroes were coming from Cloud9. And Cloud9 can pretty much always be 5. They have the double bots, they have the Hawk, and like multiple units to TP on. But they just have to understand what Cloud9 are doing and try to counteract it a bit. Fortunately, it gets a lot harder when you have 0 towers.
Yeah, and
Assisted to.
now they're at the point where they have very little map control, right? It's something where if the broodmother's ahead, you can definitely use the baby spiders for scouting tools and so on. You can position them around the jungle and so on. But right now, they have familiars, which will die really quickly if any of the Cloud9 heroes encounter them. And the other team has a wyvern with a gem and a beast monster. They have no map vision. They've lost almost all their outer towers, like... And they've only gotten a tier 1 top for all of their broodmothering.
Yeah, I kind of want to say the early game was very suboptimal for how it should have been. They just took a few bad engagements. But for now, I think Cloud9 are quite happy to just get their farm up and wait for the Aegis spawn. It is the AC on Brax. He's working on it. I think he just Hyperstone now. Oh wait, he has for Hyperstone. He needs a recipe and more Llama piece.
Yeah. So gonna get that up on him. Oh gosh, Braxy's going. Oh, he's just throwing axes casually. I thought he might be going to use that Primal Roar on someone. They are playing up so far as well on C9 and being unpunished because of their lead. Like, you just...
Also the wards, like having this ward, you can see when there's heroes there to punish you, and if there aren't heroes there to punish you, you can do whatever you want this game.
Yeah, definitely. Now we... Oh, Searing Chains. Sleight of Fist misses, but now they're going in. Can they do enough damage? Ritsu's just gonna Remnant away again. They know where he went at the very least, but, you know, it's not helpful. And now Braxy's being a pain on that bottom lane again, working on the tower, having his babies do it, and this Beast Monster has a lot of beasts, to say the least.
He's been playing really well this game.
Top tower is under attack.
Orc Vision has
Radiant's
been
top tower has fallen.
relevant, he's microing pretty well, he's always trying to look for pickoffs and communicating really well with his team. Like, he drops his necro books before he goes in so they can TP on, so mostly the Ember, but he can always TP in to be there to help them.
Yeah, and I think I have to also put a little, I think the Wyvern SVG playing really well. Using, I didn't think of it earlier during the draft, but the Arctic Burn, excellent at picking off familiars.
Yeah, plus micros been pretty off point, to be honest, but now he has a gem, he's just dewarding, so the position I was talking about is really important for Cloud9 to play that way, so they might be playing a bit more passively now. They still have the Hawk, so that's something Archon need to mind.
Yeah. There is the full Daedalus up on Ritsu. And do you think this is a game he's looking? I think that's gonna be a Lincoln's, maybe? Actually.
Let's see Scotty.
Yeah, I think it should be a Scotty here. Lincoln's isn't so great. I mean, maybe
Yeah,
he's...
he is going Scotty.
Okay, yeah.
On the orb.
So, pretty fantastic item. You get a big AoE of that Sleight of Fist, and then you can end up getting a whole bunch of people slowed down, but they're going to take a Roshan, and it looks like Ritsu is wanting to be the one to pick it up again. Just letting him play even more dangerously with the Ember.
And he has a Scotty as well now, so... There's actually so much shit on this chicken, like they're dropping items on the ground.
Yeah.
They need a second courier, or they need people to actually finish items.
They've not been putting stuff in the stash. It's been... Folks, and it looks like Wyvern maybe building herself up. It could be Shiva's, but it's probably a Lotus Orb. Although, again, kind of like, I guess you're just hoping to Lotus Orb the Lich ult.
Why the hell are there 3 chainmails on the ground and a buckler?
I'm guessing what happened is he couldn't find them? Like, someone took them off the courier and he kept buying them?
Yeah, I guess he just sold 2 of them, which is a shame, but hey ho.
He lost a bit of gold there. Happens to the best of us. So.
Yeah, losing 500 gold's not the end of the world.
I don't know, on a support task I'd be pretty cheesed.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be happy about it. I'd be flaming the shit out of my team, but, you know, big picture, they're still winning. And Ritsu's now at the point where he can man-fight them because of the lead he has. And also going the Scuddy, which is a nice choice.
Definitely helps him tank up a little bit, and I really don't want to... I want to emphasize that attack modifier pretty damn good. So, and Brax again playing all up cheekily. He also has the cheese. Can the familiar sneak up on him? It looks like they've success... No, they don't come out of the trees in time. And now Brax pinging them out. In the meantime, his team's just going to split push again. You know, you look at this lineup, and I wouldn't have said, hey, I think that's a split push lineup, but it is.
Oh, it definitely is. They're actually managing to catch SPG though, and he's gonna drop. What's the jump?
Radiant's top
So that is
A
a
lot of
pretty big
damage.
kill if they actually pick it up. Come on guys, there we go. Moo picks it up. So a really nice kill there. At the same time, Ritsu's going into their base, trying to kill off Whitebeard, and Remnant's away. So can they do anything here while the Winter's Curse is out of the game and the Wyvern is off the deck?
But I don't think they're even gonna be able to push the lanes out past the hills, or well, past this bit of the map at least. Cloud9 are just constantly pushing them in. They're too scared of like taking structural damage to actually go and get the kills. They tried to smoke out once bottom, but they didn't catch Brax with it, so
Yeah.
I don't think they have any more. I could be wrong on that. Wait, at least just bought the one.
It's also looking
They're
like
up for 6 minutes.
It's also looking like Slaughter. He did go the 4 stuff, probably a BKB now. It's not a super high damage output build. Where is this damage to actually kill off the Ember? And if it's all stacked up on Razor, we have a problem. I say, as they're gonna de-ward this,
Well, they have the Visage
but
Familiars,
maybe not
and they
knowing
also
the
have...
smoke. And here it comes, Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, Monkeys Forever is in that Winter's Curse, 4 stuffed away, but also Snowballed out, Primal Roar committed for him too. They're doing a bit of damage to Ritsu. Monkey is still not dead, he manages to pop his ult and the BKB, working in on them. Lotus Orb doesn't help you there, but Fluff and stuff on the Visage has gone down. They get the follow-up kill onto the Beastmaster. This fight is all over the place. Now they're working on 1437 at the same time as Ritsu is being caught out. They managed to burn 1 life on him, and I think 1437 probably going down to Monkeys, delaying the inevitable with the Snowball, and it looks like, oh, Monkeys actually blinks away from that, drawing him further and further in. I think he was trying to get out of the range, but no! The hook shot and the ice shot's off point, and 1 more auto attack will turn that Tusk into spiders. And that was a fantastic fight for the lineup of Archon.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you go on the Brood and don't quite kill her, she's able to get up fairly quickly. And they split their focus a bit there. They had like 2 or 3
Yeah.
heroes here trying to kill the Brood, and the other 2 went like down this way. But it's still not a big deal, honestly.
Yep. So there's still, you know, it's a drop in the bucket, but definitely probably going to help Archon's morale and make them feel a bit better about their position in the game. So,
So this blink on Monkeys is going to be enabling him to actually get on the back lines. Unfortunately, the backline heroes still kite him fairly well, but it gives him more than he had before. And I really would be surprised if he doesn't go Abyssal next, so he has some more lockdown. Get rid of the Midas.
yeah. At the same time, Ember Spirit, maybe a second crit, probably an MKB, just to deal with that incapacitating bite from the Broodmother that makes him miss occasionally. So, and Whitebeard actually choosing not to go the Guardian Greaves or any sort of build involving that. I wonder what his next item up will be.
Possibly a Flads. Might be a Force as well. Just general support items.
Yeah.
He bought a gem earlier, and he's been buying all the wards the entire game, so he's pretty poor.
It happens though. Lich is one of those heroes where you can do a lot with very little money, so that's how folks make you play. And oh, he has Kappa
Visage
Ross at the end
definitely
of
needs
this
his farm.
Yeah, Visage got a really, well, it felt like a late Aghanims. I'm not actually sure if it was, but it took him a long time to get that up. They'd already lost all of their outer towers, and I think a lot of this just having to do with the fact that they didn't get much out of the Broodmother in way of pushing.
They're actually gonna pick up the Tusk middle, so
Radiant's top tower.
this
Yeah.
is like the chance to get a tier 1 maybe, but
Yes.
at this point they're just getting ratted at their tier 3s.
Yeah, they're gonna go do some work on Jo. He's taking way too much damage. Where is the support? Slithering Crusher actually misses both, and they kill him off with the axes, and now they're getting the tier for the tier 3. They're gonna be working in on this Rax. Glyph isn't gonna save it, and there's no follow-up. There's also a team fight going in on mid. Yeah, they might be able to kill MGW, but the Winter's Curse comes out, saving his life, and now Monkeys Forever not going on anybody, and they've lost the Rax. They're also maybe gonna lose Whitebeard. Ritsu is going in ham. He misses the Searing Chains, but I think the Sleight of Fist, 1 more auto attack will do it. They slither and crush him, but you can't fight that guy. And now, blinking forwards, actually just going to work on the bottom tower for Brax. He is hitting like a truck. They get the Searing Chains on Moo, and I think this is the beginning of the end. A really nice 4-stop into a Slithering Crush. That was cute. But at the same time, I think he is in a bad spot. Blink forwards, axes, finish him off, and now losing another Rax. They actually got the full set on top while we were poking around at the fight in the mid lane, and it looks like this backup that's coming, Monkeys Forever, not going to be big enough. I think Fritzu could just stand and fight Monkeys Forever. Maybe wants to have the MKB delivered before he tries for it?
I don't think he can actually win
Oh,
the fight.
can they do
for this
anything
reason.
here? The incapacitating bite slowing him down. Do they have any sort of follow-up? The forced off away, though, and SVG gave his life for his teammate, and they're not even going to be able to... The stone form comes out. He's going to stop out SVG.
Oh, yeah,
Broodmother
she gets
kills
them.
off kills off Ember at the same time as SVG taking no damage from all of this physical. Will probably actually go down, but oh, there's the hookshot in from MJ trying to force them or force them away around, and not enough. But they've lost 2 racks. I mean, they got some good backup kills. I don't know if this
They're
is...
gonna kill the brute here, I think.
Yeah,
Just
she's
an
gonna
extra
get Primal Roared. Axe is coming in. She's got some backup, but is it enough? And no, Monkeys Forever goes down. And I
that's
think
nail in the
Massage
coffin.
is dead as well. If the boar gets a hold of him, slowing him down, actually has to use the grave on the creeps there. I shot outside of the base just a little bit. This is not looking good.
At least the brute's not gonna have to buy back because there's no Ember right now. So it's not quite nail in the coffin, like I said, realizing he does actually have a buyback. The Ember's got his next item, which is probably the MKB like we said earlier.
He has, yeah, he's had 5k gold. He actually lost like 1,000 gold dying there.
Top of the net worth by quite a way, so it's quite
No.
painful to actually die.
Moo goes for a Slithering Crush, but not quite catching the action, and he is getting closer to his BKB. But again, you're 2 lanes of racks down. You don't exactly have a wave clear hero on your team.
What, for Cloud9?
For Archon. Like, who is
They're
clearing...
kinda clears way.
Well, I don't know. With the Shivas, Jo, yeah, with the Shivas maybe enough, but not looking like it's enough against Supers, and it certainly won't be enough against Megas. And they're thinking about going in. Brax is like, whatever, I don't care about tier 1s, we could just end the game here and now. They've got the TP in. Actually, the Torque dies. I think a little mistake there, but at the same time, Fluff and Stuff taking a lot of damage. Gonna take a snowball. Dio's coming back in, seeing what he can do. That was a Walrus kick. What? No, that was the blink away. There we go. Okay, that explains it. I was very confused with the positioning. 4 stops coming out. And now, we have a hookshot in middle as well. They might actually be able to turn around onto MJW. Fluff and Stuff getting cogsed away. This is too much damage. And here comes the Winter's Curse onto Jo. Where are the teammates to kill him off? But here is Ritsu with his crits doing a lot of damage. There's also another hookshot onto Jo. 4 stop forwards. And that's a very dead Razor. Now Fluff and Stuff gonna slowly fall. Tries to Soul Assumption to get something done, but it is not enough. And Moo just trying to escape. Everything's on cooldown because of the auto attacks. He should be able to blink away here, but the hookshot onto him before his blink was off cooldown for a slither there, and it wasn't enough. And now Monkeys Forever gonna fall as well. He's actually doing a bit of damage, but it is not enough when he can't do physical damage, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see the GG call come out.
And one last fight with buybacks, I guess. Jo doesn't have one though, nor does Moose, so there's no way they hold this, unfortunately, and it's gonna be game 2 pretty soon.
Hookshot misses. Monkeys Forever blinks away. Fluff and Stuff, though, now the target of all of their anger. 4-shotting him. Oh, they need another Sleight of Fist. Ritsu. Oh, Ice Shard's gonna finish him off. Gem pops out of him, and this Rax looking very exposed, looking very dead, like we're about to have mega creeps. Now Monkeys Forever blinking in, trying to do some work, but Ghost Scepter's coming out. He can't attack those units. There's a Cold Embrace as well if they need it, and the Walrus Punch up on Monkeys Forever, meaning that he cannot take this, and yeah. GG comes out, and that is the end of the first game. Cloud9 appearing to outplay Archon a little bit there, but either way, we're going to a game 2.
Yeah, really well played by Cloud9. Managing to, in my opinion, have the superior draft and just outplay their way to victory. Once you get a hold on the game with like a split pushing lineup, it's really hard to come back.
I also feel like if the Broodmother had maybe itemized for more lockdown, more stuff to try and deal with the... bring more hell to Ritsu, you know, like an Orchid, a Sheep, or anything. It just felt like their lineup lacked lockdown. Either way, let's get ourselves into the game 2. We have a few words from the sponsors. I know you guys all love that. Once again, I'm Llama Down Under. I have been joined by PQMZ as my co-caster, and we've got Vengeance on Stats. Here is his Twitter handle. Please show him some love. And once again, we'd love all of your feedback on how to get better as casters. You can leave that at Llama Down Under, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. PQMZ doesn't have the social media yet, so shoot me your feedback for him as well. And with that, we will go to the words from the sponsors, folks.